Now the next is going to be the update function. Let's create our function in here. Update user, try catch. So here we're going to use a method called find by ID and update. Let's create a variable to hold our user, and then you do await the user model, and you call find. As you can see, if you start to type, or you just press the dot and start type, you can see the methods available. If you have IntelliSense, find by ID, and remove, find by ID by update, and that's the one you want. Find by ID and update. Again, you can find this information in the Mongoose in documents. You can have the information here, find by ID and update. So let's go and continue with our function. What it asks is, of course, the ID, is find by ID. So we saw it before, the ID is restored in the route params, and you get it from the request.params. That's the first thing that is asking, and then it's asking also for what is it that is going to update. So we need to pass the request.body. And here, if you just do this, whenever you update, it's gonna update in your database, but it won't show in your application. So you need to pass a new true. So this is gonna update and refresh your application data as well. Then you just need to do the same as we did before. Status 200, send user. Here's the same as the status 400, and we send in the error. So first, let's try it out without this new, and then we can get. I can show you what I mean by this true thing. Well, before we do this, we need to do the router. Before we test, we need to do the router. So let's go again. And as you saw, it's going to be on this one. We can remove all this function over here. And here, let's do the same as this one, because we're going to have the delete. We're going to have some inputs in here, same as the one before. So instead of that, we're going to call route. And here we can put things you need. So we're going to use the put. We can also put the delete. And we're also going to have a get to get the user's profile. We're going to use the put to update it, and the delete in case you need to delete. So first I'm going to comment out these two, and we're going to work on the put. Here's going to be user controller dot update user. So now let's try it out. First I'm going to do a request to our user list, so I can grab ID. Just gonna grab from the first one here. Now we use the put, HTTP put. Here you need to capitalize, don't forget that. 8080 users, and then we pass the ID. The next thing it's asking, you got the ID, and now what is it that you're going to change? Take a look on the model. Let's add a quick bio. So bio equals, here it's because it's a bunch of stuff and there is a space. We can use the quotes. There you go. And then if you press enter, as you can see, it didn't do anything. It returns whatever it was before when you did the last request. But if you go to our database, here in my user, it was updated in here. So let's change this and add that true that I mentioned before. So we say true, new, true. So now let me try again. I'm going to remove the instructor and press enter. Now it got updated and return it for me. If I check out my database, I need to reload my database in here to get the latest. There we go. Web developer. So whenever using the find by ID and update, you need to pass this through, so it's gonna reload your application state. Now that we got our update done, let's commit it to Git and move on. So cm CRUD update user.